For the big day, there is meticulous planning. But right now, for weddings, it seems there's no plan up ahead. At the colossal Peckforton Castle, the uncertainty is felt everywhere. They just don't know if and when weddings will have to stop.
Stress is the perfect word for it. It's bringing back sort of nightmares of earlier in the year and last year of what we went through as a business.
Not only does Chris run 3 busy venues, he also chairs the UK's wedding task force. But even having a direct link to government, the picture is no clearer.
It makes me angry. It really does. This time round, I think anger is probably the best way to describe it. I think previously I was happy to look and go with what the government was saying, but I think everything that's come out in the last few weeks and the fact that we're going back again to potentially to a so-called step 2 is a huge backward step.
New Year's Eve is supposed to be Hannah's happiest day, but with the current COVID condition, she's staying home, not taking any risks, and it's a situation out of her hands.
It's horrible. I mean, you know, when you're planning a wedding, everything is kind of stressful enough. And I think as much as I was really looking forward to the day, you know, part of you is kind of looking forward to having that stress of the planning of the wedding out of the way. And the thought of having to postpone it, reschedule, anything like that is just like, really stressful.
It isn't just wedding venues and those who are getting married here that are now in the dark. There is a huge knock-on effect to this massive industry. Caterers, florists and photographers, all now uncertain about the weeks ahead.
I represent a demoralised, decimated, exhausted sector. We were the first to close, the last to open. And here we face uncertainty yet again. We're of course aware of all the rumours, a circuit breaker, but weddings are incredibly complex. You don't just start them and end them with a few hours' notice. We need to know what's the plan.
The magic of weddings has been overshadowed by endless uncertainty. The fairy tale many hoped for has been suppressed.
Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying,
"The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come. But they refused to come. Then he sent some more servants and said, 'Tell those who have been invited that I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted cattle have been butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they paid no attention and went off, one to his field, another to his business. The rest seized his servants, mistreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his army and destroyed those murderers and burned their city. He said to his servants, 'The wedding banquet is ready, but those I invited did not deserve to come. Go to the street corners and invite to the banquet anyone you can find.' So the servants went out into the streets and gathered all the people they could find, both good and bad. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he noticed a man there who was not wearing wedding clothes. 'Friend,' he asked, How did you get in here without wedding clothes? The man was speechless. Then the king told the attendants, tie him hand and foot and throw him outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen.